Welcome back to today's episode. And Today we're going to dive deep into the trending topic that's been making waves globally, right? It's about iPhone Index 2024. So it's about how many days it takes for an average person to afford the latest iPhone 16. And depending upon where you live, it also changes. So a quick spoiler alert. So stick around, especially if you've been eyeing Apple's latest flagship and wondering how long it would take to save up. Right? We'll break down the data by country, and you might be surprised by the amount of disparities. So, firstly, let's talk about what iPhone Index is actually, right? So iPhone Index is an annual study that checks how many working days it takes for an average person in a different countries to afford an Apple iPhone. So this year, the focus is completely on iPhone 16, and let me tell you, the numbers are very different. So for instance, if you live in Switzerland, right, you only need to work like 4 days to buy an iPhone 16. That's it, just 4 days of work, and you can walk into an Apple store and grab the latest phone. So sounds amazing, right? But if you live in Turkey, you need to work approximately 72 days to afford the same phone. So that's like over 2 months. And Turkey isn't alone. Countries like Philippines, Brazil are also high on the list, with over like 68 to 69 days of work needed. So now let's break down some key countries. You'll get an idea of how the purchasing power varies across the globe. So in India, you actually need to work approximately like 47, 48 days to buy an iPhone 16, considering the starting price is around 79,000. So it's actually a huge investment for most Indians. Over in Australia and Singapore, it takes around 5.7 to 6 days to earn enough money to buy an iPhone. That's actually less than 1 week. So these are some of the most affordable regions to buy an Apple iPhone. The US it's around 5.1 days, and all on the other end of the scale, we have Vietnam, which can take around 53 days. That's nearly 2 months of work. It's actually crazy how the same product with the same specs, right, can take different amounts of time to afford based purely on where you live. So, based on these data, we might have these questions, right? Like, what's driving this disparity? Why is there huge difference between country to country? In simple words, I would say purchasing power. Um, it actually boils down to the average income in a country versus the price of the iPhone. So high income countries like Switzerland, US, Australia, they enjoy a lot of purchasing power, which means they can buy high end products like an iPhone with very minimal effort. Meanwhile, in countries that have low average wages, right, like countries like India, Turkey, buying an iPhone represents a huge chunk of your salary. And let's not forget the import duties, taxes, and regional pricing also plays a huge role. For instance, in India, where the iPhone 16 Pro starts around like 1.19 to 1.2 lakhs, import taxes make it significantly more expensive when you compare the prices to the US. Um, so, having said all this, speaking about the iPhone Index 2024, so what does this mean for the future, right? So, Apple continues to release new models every year, and the prices they don't seem to get any cheaper. In fact, the iPhone 16 Pro Max costing around 1.45 lakhs in India. So, the luxury of owning the latest Apple device is becoming more challenging for consumers in certain regions. But there is some hope with trade-in programs, carrier subsidiaries, even with new booming businesses like buy now and pay later companies like LazyPay. Um, some users can still get their hands on these devices without shelling out a huge sum of money at once. So that being said, and Apple continues to innovate. The price to wage gap in many countries, and it continues to keep growing. So it'll be very interesting to see how iPhone index evolves in the future, right, in coming years. So to quickly wrap things up, Here are a few takeaways. Switzerland is top on the list with the most affordable place to buy an iPhone. It just takes 4 days for them. Um, on the flip side, there's Turkey. It takes around 72 to 73 days. A big difference. Countries like Australia, Singapore, US, they're on the mid scale, where it takes less days but um, higher than Switzerland. So the affordability of tech like the iPhone is much more than just the price tag. It's about wages, taxes, regional economic factors as well. So that's all for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion on the iPhone Index 2024. I hope I gave you some insights on how external factors impact our tech purchases. So if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. Once again, thank you. Bye.